Hey, what's up?
Yeah, what's good, man? I'm not too bad. Listen, we gotta get into this interview. It's big
Yeah,
times. It's big times for you right now, man. Like,
yeah, man. It's a big couple of days. It's weird to be like, I don't know. It's weird to have so much going on again. So yeah, I'm just excited.
I mean, I feel like a lot of people are excited. This is the debut, the big debut right now. It drops at
Thank,
midnight.
oh man, thank you. Yeah, very weird. It's just felt like a long time coming. So it just felt like something that would never come, and all of a sudden it's like, wow, it's here.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to take it all in and just enjoy it, really.
I hear it. Because I mean, you had what, 2015, you had the EP. Then you
Mhm.
had yours, what was 2016 or 17?
Yeah, 16 or 17. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, then you had the three part. So we had the start of the warm up to the party, the main
Yeah,
party, and then
yeah.
obviously you got Dawn and all that stuff going on as well. Shout out Claro and Throwaway. That's my tune right there.
Thank you, bro.
And then, so like, obviously, as you're creating, you're a producer, you sing as well. I can't lie, the singing's on point. I'll give you that, the singing is on
Thank
point.
you, bro. I've been working on it. I
Yeah,
think something that I had to like I had to grow in confidence in it and get better. Like I'm still working on it. It's like it's definitely like outside of my comfort zone. But with this album, I was like, I wanna push myself outside that comfort zone, and I want to put myself front and center for some of these tracks,
yeah.
and that taking that risk and like getting that reward is it's worth it. It really feels like you feel fulfilled when you kind of take those risks and then people are into it.
I hear it because, like, obviously, if you're just producing it, it's your project. Obviously, you started it, you've opened up the sessions and created everything. But when you kind of have your vocals on there, it's that extra touch that just makes it even better for you,
Yeah,
right?
it just opens up a whole nother like world of like possibility for how you can express yourself on the tune, because like you can express yourself to a certain extent with instrumentals, and you can like express things sonically, but then you can't say things. You can't be like, oh, here's a story about something that happened to me. But with singing, you can be like, well, I'm going to talk about this person or this experience that I had, and it's cool because you can leave little kind of anecdotes in your music that even if other people don't join the dots, you're like, cool, like I got that out of my system.
I hear that. Before let's start actually breaking down some of the tracks that have already come out and we start talking about the main body, I actually got a confession to make to you.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, like when Baby Shark came out, like 2 years ago,
Yeah.
remember someone tweeted you with Aura mixed with Baby Shark?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, that was me.
Bro.
Yeah, it was me.
Mash up of the century, bro, honestly.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't know where my mind was at. Trust me, I was sober. Yeah, I wasn't on a bad wave. I wasn't on the chemicals, as they say. Yeah. And I
You can
saw
always
it.
blame it on him, though.
Listen, I don't know what I did, and I was just like, let me send this out and just see what happens in it. And then
Bro, I remember seeing that made me crease so much. I was just like, you know what? This kind of slaps.
listen, you might have to just the next show, because I was supposed to go to your show, the one that obviously it's been cancelled now because of COVID and stuff.
Yeah.
But listen, next, if you want to let that one off, just let it off. Watch people go crazy too.
Or there's a bit of baby shut the
Listen, you just cut up the shark bits and it'll just make so much sense.
Yeah, I could do it. I could do it. I think people would be into it.
Listen, we don't know. Yeah, I think it has to be towards the middle of the night when people are drunk. I don't think I could be in the beginning. Like, guys, I'm here. I'm back. First show in about 18 months. By the way, baby. No.
Let's go.
But let's talk about the actual breakdown to the album then, because I haven't heard the whole thing yet, but I've obviously heard the songs that are out. So you had Impact, you had Chemicals,
Yep.
Time,
Yep.
Feed the Fire. Then we had the one with Nile Rodgers that just came out like last week.
Yep.
So there's only 10 tracks on this tape.
Yeah, so it's 10 tracks. So
Yeah.
it's kind of I had a few more tracks for it, and then as I kind of really honed in the message and vision of the album, I just woke up one day and I sort of put these 10 tracks in order, and I was like, that's it, like I see it, and it was just like it was concise, it said everything I wanted to say, and it communicated everything I wanted to communicate, and so I was just like, let's run it.
Yeah, I mean, for you then, so because I want to kind of get the perspective from what you've put out to what we're going to get at midnight. What is the kind of message through times that we're going to kind of appreciate or pick up on like straight away with the other songs that we haven't heard as well?
So the central message of the album is this kind of study of the fact that time is finite, and that given the opportunity to celebrate and to experience these moments of like togetherness in live music, clubs, whatever it may be, or even just like spending time with your friends, those opportunities are finite. And that, you know, if we ever get the chance to do those things, then we need to cherish them and make the most of them, because I think that the last year has shown us that like all the things that we took for granted, whether that's like, you know, going to a festival, going to the park, all these life experiences, these things that make up life and make them worth living, they're they're not guaranteed. So really the central message of the whole album is a looking at that from different perspectives and really just wanting to celebrate the present moment.
Yeah, I think that's important, because for someone like yourself who kind of goes around and does a lot of performances and is able to connect with the fans, we're going to talk about the Printwork show in 2018 or 19. That one was crazy. Like,
bro, that was one of the best nights of my life. That was so good.
Listen, let's talk. Actually, let's forget what question I was going to ask. Let's talk about that now, because so I was with two of my mates who went, and we came from work, so we're tired already. And I'm like, yo, I'm not gonna lie, SG's got to do bits today because I'm gonna have to be tired. I need some energy.
Yeah.
30 minutes later, but obviously, you had the light stream that was going across and hitting all the way towards the back. So we were kind of like on the side in the front.
Yeah.
And like we were going crazy. Two girls say to my mate, yo, what are you guys on? And like we were, bear in mind, we had like 2 drinks in it. That's it. But we just feeling the vibe too much. And then we all kind of turned and looked and was like, nothing. Like, and like the whole crowd and the energy was just feeling it so much. So for you on stage, like how was that the last? That's the last show that you did as you.
That's the last like headline show, because we kind of were running towards this Brixton show, and that was like the next step up. But that's still the last big show I did in London, and bro, it was like I remember walking out on the stage, and like the first song was coming up, which is the song I sing on. So I remember walking out, and there's a recording of it somewhere. I get on stage and like I see the people stretching back, and I just hear this like roar coming off the crowd, and I was just like, oh my God. Like in that moment, like it took the wind out of me. I was just like, for like 5 seconds I couldn't say anything, and then I just like was like like that's fine. It took me like a verse and a chorus to like relax into it, but then once I was in, man, just like the energy of the crowd, like I had so many friends in the audience, but then just people that have like been rocking with me for some time, and it was magical, man. And it was like, I miss that feeling, and I've got so many people that are with me and that are like supportive of what I do, and and I meet some of these people in the normal world, and I go out and you get to meet these people and stuff, but I really miss that connection with the audience that you get from that, and I'm definitely looking forward to it coming back.
Yeah, I mean, with that being said, then, because a lot of the time, a lot of people build albums around tours and stuff. Is this were a lot of these songs kind of made for a 2020 release, and you've kind of had to wait and push it back to now, or were these like new songs, the ones obviously that we haven't heard?
I think originally, the whole album had this kind of aim to be enjoyed in dance floors and festivals. It's like ode to club culture, and the kind of meaning and purpose of the album shifted when I started to get messages from people, because I started to release singles, and that kind of went through my mind. I was like, oh, should I like pause? Should I wait? And then people would message me and just be like, yo, I see, like I'm stuck at home and I'm with my flatmate, and everything's really bad right now, but for a brief moment we stuck your music on and we danced around the living room, and for a little moment we just escaped, and it was amazing. And I'm like, that gave the music, especially the dancehall music, like a purpose. And that was like, to me, that was an even bigger purpose than otherwise, and that just kind of gave me the green light I needed to be like, no, like I want to share this whole album. So there's 2 songs that haven't been heard that are kind of slower, but then most of the album is kind of this celebratory, up-tempo, euphoric music, really.
Yeah, I mean, you could definitely feel that in the music that's already out, and you've got different vibes in there. Because I want to talk about Robyn for a second, because that's a name that is, if you are in like your mid-20s and up, you're gonna know who Robyn is from. Like, was that Every Little Heartbeat? Was that the song?
Every Little Heartbeat. There's obviously Call Your Girlfriend. I Keep Dancing on My Own. I mean, Robyn's like she's a legend, and it's crazy to have her on the record, because I'm such a fan,
Yeah, and she's been a pioneer of dance music for a long time, even behind the scenes as well.
Yeah,
And
she really like she's really about her like underground electronic music. If you watch her DJ, she knows her records, and she's like, she lives and breathes that underground dance culture.
I think for you, because when I DJ, I kind of don't know where to put your music in when I put it in the folders. I'm like, electro, is it like pop? You got some songs that sound like got disco elements into it. Like if I'm doing a modern disco, I can flick it there. So is it for you just it's the SG sound? Because I feel like you've got one like a signature sound where you hear that song.
Thanks, man. I mean, like, yeah. I like that it can't be like pigeonholed, because like I feel like I just make music that I would want to hear and I would think is interesting. And I think that, the music by nature kind of like straddles a few different genres and has different influences. And, it's hard for me to look at it myself and be like, oh, that's my sound. Because like it's weird to kind of look from an outside in, but people do tell me that the music has like a sound that I have, which I think is really cool, and I'm really proud of.
I think, well, as soon as you hear something like Hurting, come on, you got Aura, then you automatically like those three. You see like those 3 EPs that came out like between 17 and 19, like they were the soundtrack to a lot of summers, and they just made sense.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. No, I'm super proud of them still.
Yeah, like, and that's the thing. You can kind of go back to those songs at any time. Even with this like album as well. Like when Chemicals first came out, I was like, I can hear like Daft Punk, Get Lucky, obviously Chic, I'm gonna go with this. And then I can hear that influence in the background. I'm like, yeah. And then obviously this one more with Nile Rodgers came out, and I'm like, fam, what's going on? What's like, it just makes so much sense. Like the little, obviously this is you working on it and developing it, but it's just, it shows how like multi-genre and how you can kind of link so many of your songs into one.
Thank you, bro. And like, it's so crazy for me because, some of the people that ended up being on the album were the people that even like inspired this whole process in the first place. It's like, people like Nile Rodgers were the catalyst for this whole album even being like made in the first place, exploring disco and the music in it. So then it's very full circle to have him on the record and to have Robyn on the record, and Matt Johnson from Jamiroquai and Chad Hugo from the Neptunes is playing a synth on a song. And it's just like, all of a sudden it's like, wow, like, most of my biggest influences are on this record. And that's insane.
I think when it does drop at midnight, because by the time everyone hears this, the album would have come out. So they're going to be looking at it from another perspective.
Yeah.
Like where, I'm trying to think of the best way to say it. Like, what do you want people to feel as a whole towards it? Like,
I want people to feel hope towards everything coming back, because I just think that like it's been a rough time, man. And I think that, I just want people to listen to this album and to start to dream about what it could be like when we come back. And then for me as an artist, I want people to look at it and be like, well, we don't know where he's going to go next, but I'd like to think that there's nothing that I can't kind of do next, or there's no like box that I have to be put in, because like, I think that I managed to kind of cover a range of things on the album that kind of leaves that door open in terms of where I go next, really.
Yeah, I think if we look at some of the other work that you've done outside of it, like some people might have forgotten, even though you were in the video, you've worked with Dave before as well. So you've got that. You've got a tune with G-Eazy. You've got a few other tunes that are floating around where you've done production for it, and your name might not be credited on it, but if you know, it's the ones.
Yeah. If you know, bro.
So like, where would you want to go? Where do you want to take it? Because you could do more hip hop sounding stuff, which we've heard you do before. This album seems a lot more towards the dancier element, and like you said, and why we broke it down. So yeah, what can you do next? I'm asking. I'm
really pushing myself as a singer right now and trying to like really realize my full potential with that, and I'm interested to explore that like on wherever I go next. But then I'm also like, I'm learning a lot about pop music and kind of the good bits that I like about, I love pop music, and pop music is a huge term, but like, for instance, the Neptunes, what they did was pop music, but it's their own kind of pop music. And I just want to leave my mark on popular music. I want there to be a period of time that people go, oh, do you remember when those like SG Lewis joints were like everywhere? That's where I want to go next. I want to like I want to leave a mark on popular music on the whole, really.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, the beauty of everything is that because this is your debut record, it's just the beginning of it. Like, everything that's been done before is still as important. But
Mhm.
I'm sure even from like this record that's about to drop to the first EP, even like from even looking at yours as well as like a point, because you had a few like more like, apart from Holding Back, which was we've got Gallant on that one, and you had the Bishop Neri track on that. So like from maybe the one before that, which is more dancier,
Mhm.
what's the evolution that you found within yourself that you're more confident in working with, or you know automatically know that you know what you need to put there, etc., when it comes to layering and production?
Yeah, I mean, it's really just that, it's like a 10,000 hours thing. It's like, you spend enough time around people that are good at things, and you learn, and I think the worst thing that like an artist can have, or anyone that writes music, is like a huge ego. The minute that you think, oh yeah, like I've got this figured out, like, then you're toast. It's like you have to keep learning because music keeps changing, and like there are always people better than you out there. So I've just been lucky enough to kind of be around enough people now that I'm learning, and that's giving me confidence in my direction. But at the same time, you've just always got to continue to kind of take in general advice and kind of and continue to improve.
Yeah, I think that is also important, and because you're pretty open with your fan base and like you kind of like listening to what they're saying. I guess it's like, say for example, like a half of your fan base say, "Oh, do this," and you're like, "I don't really want to do. That's not my sound right now." But at least because you're open, you can translate that through the music you're making, or even just a tweet or something like that. Yeah,
yeah, man. And people, I have great conversation with my fans on like Instagram Live and like stuff like that, and I feel like I can have those honest conversations with them. And I get requests all the time from fans like collab with this person, but and sometimes they're great ideas, and sometimes they just don't work for certain reasons. But it's cool to like even hear that from them.
Yeah, I hear that. And yeah, so like thinking about obviously you as your progression as to become a singer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm focused on that. Do you trust yourself on a beat which is just completely stripped back yet, and you could just sing like a ballad, or where are we on that level yet?
So, bro, there's a beat. There's a ballad. The last track on the album is called "Fool," and it's a ballad, and it's pretty exposing. But like, I still probably use a bit too much reverb on my voice in places and burying myself. But
you don't need to tell him that. Say that too much. Don't expose it like that. People will be like, "Nah, take the reverb."
Bro, like I said, I'm honest about the process, and it's like I think we'll get to a stage where I think with singing, you just get more used to your voice. I don't even know if you get better. You kind of just like come to accept that that's what you sound like, or you get better too. But it's like, it's just about getting comfortable with how your voice sounds and knowing how to sing and use it.
Yeah. Obviously for you as well, you used to travel quite a bit. So you used to be out in LA. Have you got a studio out in LA, or is it just you?
I was living there for like 6 months, and my publishers Pulse like give me free studio time there and stuff. So like I'm there all the time. And I was gonna move before this album. I was like, yeah, I'm gone. I'm like, I basically promised myself I wouldn't be here for British winter ever again. But then
Boy, well, it's February, and I'm not gonna lie, last week was stunning. So.
Or like honestly, I was like, I can't do this anymore. I can't be here when it's like 2 degrees and raining. But the world had other ideas, So I don't know. We'll have to see what happens when the world returns and if things get safe again. But yeah, I spent a lot of time over there.
Yeah. So how, obviously, like you said, because you can't really get over there right now with everything that's going on, did that affect a lot of the process in making like some of the songs, or was it just easy to kind of promote?
I was lucky enough that I'd written a lot of the album before the first lockdown. There was only 2 songs that then ended up being finished over Zoom, and like kind of going back and forth on like email. But loads of the first lockdown was me just sat with the songs and then just like finishing production and just like tinkering and kind of mixing and all this little bit. So it was a really like I was lucky that I had all the music in front of me, and I think I would have struggled if I had to like put an album together in the first lockdown. But I was kind of locked away, and as terrible as it was like the one positive that I had from it was that I had all this time to like lock in and to finish the music in the way that I needed to.
Yeah, I mean that's the best part about it, because now when you share all the songs that people haven't heard, I'm looking forward to hear the last track now. You got me Like thinking, okay, let me hear
Ready
this.
for the ballad.
Yeah, ready for the ballad, you know. I don't even trying to listen to ballads too much, but I have to make an exception. You know what I mean?
Yes,
But yeah, I think it's just important that even sometimes going away and kind of just working on yourself, like obviously you through the music, it makes it more powerful when you come out, because we're kind of in this space where a lot of people are going to remember this time, but certain things are not going to be remembered. But if they can hear times and like be like, oh yeah, I remember when SG Lewis was doing this, it kind of sets a bigger benchmark for when you drop the second and the third and the fourth album. Yeah,
definitely. You know, like in a typical world, I'd be off touring and stuff, but I've got all this time now to kind of to lock into whatever's coming next and kind of just spend that time developing. And I basically promised myself that that's how I was going to spend the rest of this downtime. Was like, I need to make the most of this and you know, get ahead on musical output and stuff, because you know, when the world opens back up, I'm gonna be everywhere, you know. So
I hear it. That's got to be done. That's the thing. Like, and with this album coming out, obviously tonight, midnight. Obviously next week you might do some more press and promo. Are you taking a break or are you gonna keep going?
I was going to, like, when I could travel, I was like, right, I'm gonna go like Bali for a month or something, and I'm just gonna. But bro, I got nothing to do, and I really like making. You know, this is what I do. So really, I think I might take 1 week off, and then I'm back to it. In fact, I'm not even sure I have that, to be honest. Like, I was, the diary's like, I got some studio sessions like next week, I think. But you know, I'm ready. You know, I've got nothing else to do. I'm like playing Warzone. I'm like, I've completed Netflix. You know, I've like scrolled Instagram to the end of Instagram. You know, it's like I've got nothing left to do, so I'm just gonna get back to making more music.
I hear that. Wait, have you secured PS5 or Xbox?
Got PS5, bro.
Bad. I'm not gonna lie, I do too. I got one like about.
It
had to be done, you know.
It has to be done, you know. Lockdown and that.
Yeah. Wait, how good are you at Warzone, though? That's the question.
I'm so bad, bro. I die like every time.
Listen, I got mates that are like on higher tiers that I play with, and I just let them do the killing, and I'll just be there, armor plates on, minding my own business in the corner. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like the technical terms that, you know, I play with some guys who are like, you know, they use the compass on like the where you're looking. I got no idea what you're saying. I'm just like trying to survive.
Must be someone said enemy drop into the AO. I'm like, yeah, I don't know what that means, but oh well. Yeah. But listen, the album out midnight. What do you want to say to all the people that are looked into this, going to be looking into the album over the weekend for the future? What do you want to say to the fans?
Just massive thank you to everyone that supported me. It's been like, you know, despite everything that's gone on, I've been so lucky to share this music with everyone and to feel that energy from everyone, and that's kept me going. And I hope that this album provides a little bit of escapism for you guys, and hopefully once this is all over, we'll be able to get back together and have the best time ever.
There we go. SG Lewis I would say in the building, but we ain't in the building. So. On Zoom.
On Zoom.
With me, Myles. That's the interview. Guys, I'll catch you in a bit. Peace.